Hi everyone, and welcome to the Autumn Craft Ideas giveaway hop featuring images by Monica for tailor-made for you cards. Welcome to Heartcraftpaper. My name is Monica, and I'm so glad that you can join me today. For today's project, I'm going to be using the Down on the Farm tailor-made for you digital set. This particular set comes with several images. All the images are farm related, as you can see here with the farmer's market. They have beautiful detailed images, as well as some cute ephemera, some labels for jars and gems that you can probably use for gift giving. You can also use these little envelopes either for giving away seeds or even putting in some ephemera as well. One of my favorite items from this set are actually the recipe cards, which are a nice little set of gifts that you can give. Here are some samples of items that you can make with these particular sets of images. We have cards, we have gift books, and other items that you can make. Now I'm going to be using these images in Design Space in order to make a greeting card, a welcome neighbor greeting card. I first looked for a rectangle, and this particular image caught my eye because it is a frame, and I decided that this would fit perfectly, and I like changing the colors to match what I'm going to be making. I used the print and cut with the green gingham and a craft color background. So I'm going to be using a craft card. Now here you see that I'm slicing and isolating my images in order to create my card. I started off with the milk ticket, and then I sliced up the little farmer boy so that way it would be my center image. Next, I came in and isolated my farmer's market and reduced the oval in order to make sure that it fit. I duplicated it since that's going to be where it's going to be sitting. I changed the color to white so that the farmer's market would show off right there. Next, I'm going to need a sentiment. So I'm going to look for a banner, and I want a single-sided fishtail. I found exactly what I was looking for and imported it onto my mat. I'm going to change this to white and add a welcome to the neighborhood sentiment. I'll link up the project for you in the comments below. Now I chose this particular font because I felt that it was more around the time period that I'm getting with this particular image set. So you're welcome to use any font that you like, but this one felt the most time appropriate for this. Now I'm going to send this off to the mat for cutting. Okay, so we have everything ready to go. I have my frame for my little rectangle label. I have my sentiment, which we will distress. I have this cute little guy here, and I absolutely like that. Then we have this check that's for milk, and it's got eggs, dairy. I love all the little print that it has there. And then we have the farmer's market, and that's that little sentiment that we cut or that we made. Then I have my A2. Now this is going to be a fairly quick card to make because everything is pretty much printed and done and ready, and Cricut makes it very easy for us to pull these together. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cardstock, and because it's craft, I want to use the Sizzix embossing plate or embossing folder and just give it a little texture in that background. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so let's have a look. This is the embossing folder that I had. Now I like this texture on the back side, but look at the front. Oh, I mean, it's got a ton of texture. It's got these lovely little knots, and this fit perfectly. We are going to go ahead and use that and kind of frame that out. So here I've got some vintage photo, and I just kind of want to run over this. And all the raised areas is where it's going to pick up that color, as you can see. And this is absolutely lovely. And I love just how this looks. All right. So there you go. Now I'm going to keep this out because I want to add a little bit of color here. Just kind of make it a little bit weather worn. I don't want it to be like stark white. I want it to have some antique kind of look to it. And it already has plenty of ink from there, and there we go. Now it's nice and warmed up. So that's a good. So I'm going to be careful with that. We want to make this a little bit more antique-ish. So we will kind of do this. And then we'll kind of come in the same with this little guy. I mean, this particular die is so versatile. I absolutely love it. So we're just gonna come in here. And then I'm gonna leave that there, okay? So, like I said, this is a very, very quick card. So as you can see, you're gonna get a lot of color here from this particular background. So I'm gonna set those aside. I am going to lay these down. And this is kind of how I want it. Okay. So this here. And I'm almost debating if I want to give this some height or glue this down directly. Because I want to have this kind of framed out, which I think we will do. Let's go ahead and frame this out first, and then we'll decide on what we want. So I'm taking a 1/4 inch wide foam tape, and then I am just going to line that up there. And one of the things you have to remember about the lower section is that the paper has been stretched a little. And so that has, because of the embossing, stretched and extended a little bit past what we have. But I like that little frame. So I am either going to, I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Because I do have other, I don't want to give everything too much height. So let's take that. Leave that there. Now I did it this way because I wanted this little section here, the cows, to kind of show all along this. I mean, it's absolutely cute. All right. So let's add this little farmer guy right there. Now, here, I'm going to go ahead and actually apply it to my card. But I do want to kind of distress this just a smidgen to give it a little bit more color here along the edges. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to try and keep my paper nice and flat and folded down. Okay. Okay, that should work. Okay, so now I have this nice little piece of paper. We're gonna, or my backing, and glue that on. So I think this can use some binding tape right along this bottom here. And then we can add the sentiment right on top of that. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna take a 1/8 inch tape. If I can find my used one. All right. And how this is going to work is this 1/8 inch tape is going to hold this down. So there we go. And all I have to do is just scrunch it, scrunch it, scrunch it, scrunch it, and scrunch it all the way across. So that way it has this nice little pleat. I think that's a little bit too much. And trim that there. There we go. It's nice, neat, and I like how that's going to sit right on top of that. Now, one of the things that I picked this sentiment was welcome to the neighborhood, because I wanted to have a nice, beautiful little welcome card for whomever this is going to be. Maybe you have a neighbor, especially with the situation that it is nowadays. You know, you really want to put in for having something to welcome other people, because we all have to be a little bit kinder nowadays. COVID has isolated us and made us become a lot more distant. Now, I think I'm just going to add that right there. Let me go ahead. Oh, you know what? I just want to kind of give that a nice worn feel too. Totally forgot. I was going to go with just plain white, but I'm looking at everything else. It just doesn't tie in just a straight white. Yeah, no, it just doesn't look antique-ish. So what we're going to do is just kind of give that a nice little touch there. And now we have this better distressed look, which I actually love very much. It's got this little like patchiness to it. And we're going to elevate that. And oh, let me add a little bit more. Just want to make sure I have enough support. And there you have it. A cute little distress card that's perfect for a welcome to the neighborhood. You can even change this and put welcome fall or how are you? I mean, this is a perfect little card for this particular time of the year. Head on down to the description below and click on the next link in the hop. For more videos and tutorials like these, don't forget to subscribe. Visit the blog for more information at www.heartcraftpaper.com. Thanks for watching Heartcraft Paper.